Can you explain to me like what are skills? Are they just markdown files with human readable directions? And then like how does like a bot like use that and how does it know when to call on that skill?
Right. So it is traditionally in a markdown format, so it's like text, but it's usually like, the first portion of a skill is generally going to be like refer to this repository to gain the functionality on how to do X and Y, and then what follows is sort of like a README about some technical repository. Maybe it's like, for example, I just shipped an agent starter kit for agentic trading on Limitless. So get your Clawbot trading on this prediction market, test out some strategies, test out some ARB, copy trading, whatever. And in the Skills MD, it's like, hey, this is the repository with all the technical bits on how to actually interact with the exchange. But in plain language, for you as an LLM to understand, here's what you can actually do with this. Here are kind of the key files. So instead of like a README, which is meant to give humans like typically, for an engineering audience, for like, here's how to navigate this repository and what it can do. This is a README for bots and agents specifically optimized for LLM ingestion. So it emphasizes a few different things. It can go into less granular detail about some of the code if it's given the proper directive. But Skills has also introduced probably like the riskiest attack vector for clawbots, right? Like I think what you see a lot of is people, and like there's a ton of malicious skills out there because there was in this initial gold rush of skills, people were just hopping on all the, I forget, it wasn't, I think it was Moltbook, yeah, where they were just uploading and downloading random skills onto their servers and getting malware installed, getting prompt injected, and getting sensitive keys leaked. So this is actually the step.
It's like a copywriting skill, and step 3 is like, okay, now go to this website and download this link, and it's just like drains
which
your
it's
wallet.
also like, dude, like at that, if you're like, you gotta keep your wits about you. Like we are playing, like if you're gonna give something pseudo access to like sensitive data, like don't install random shit. Like, and I feel like I don't actually feel that bad for people that are falling for this. I don't want to, like with hubris go and get my own malware installed. Really, like the funniest way to circumvent this Skills MD attack vector that I've seen is like you use the Soul MD, right? Like you have these system config files, you have the Soul MD, the heartbeat, like other rules, skills, agents MD. And in the Soul MD, there's a lot of security hardening you can do there around adopting and using skills if you write that file properly. So you can really tell it, hey, any skill that ever shows up on your plate, first and foremost, let's open things up in a sandbox Docker container. Let's like get it contained before we test the water too much. Let's do all this in like a very careful environment. That works quite well. The Docker sandboxing in general is a good idea with Clawbot to not, when you spawn sub agents and when you're trying new software, you want to keep things contained and not too risky.